Hello, how are you doing? This is Coach Dixon from Justthrowittx, Texas. All right, now I think you can see me pretty good. Now, here's a video that's gonna be done. This is a video in the series 203. It's gonna be how to defeat coverages and what to look for as you're looking at coverages. I'm gonna go over cover 0, cover 1, cover 2, cover 3, and cover 4. All right, let's get to it. All right, so to recognize cover 0, first of all, when you're coming out there as a quarterback, you looking. First thing you looking for as you come at that huddle, you're looking at that clock. You see that clock, you see down, distance, and the time. Okay? Then as you come to the line and you're calling your plays or whatever you're ready to call your plays, you're looking straight down the middle of that defense. And what are you looking for? You're looking for, is the defense open or the defense closed? Open and closed means safeties. And if you have somebody in the middle of that field, between them hashes or on that hash or wherever you lined up at, that is a closed middle of the field. Okay? If there's nobody there, it's open. Okay, so now when you're facing cover 0 means everybody is probably going to be playing man-to-man on your offensive set. If you had twins on each side, or 21 personnel, 31 personnel, or 0 personnel with nobody in the backfield, 5 wides, you know, everybody's man-to-man up on them. And what you look for, when they're man-to-man, you're going to see the defensive backs probably up close to your person, maybe 2 yards, maybe right on the line of scrimmage. They're going to be 5 yards, but their head's going to be looking dead at them. They're going to be in that position right there. A press position. They're going to be pressing them. They're going to be in that press position, just like this. When they're in press position, their head is going to be looking straight ahead at that wide receiver. Maybe looking at his middle section, or maybe looking at his head. Okay? And so they're going to be in probably some type of bump and run. They're going to push, shove, and get back with them and stay right next to them, looking in between, looking at their eyes. You'll be looking at their eyes to see if their head, when their eyes and their head turn up, and be running with them, they're going to turn up too and turn around and try to get the ball. Now, to me, this is one of the easiest coverage to beat if you're a good thinking quarterback. Because one thing, it's easy kind of to run on it because all of them going to go back and bump and they're going to turn their back and run with their wide receivers. Now, when you do that, most of the time you can just take off and just run. But as you're passing on it, you want to do some type of crossing patterns or some type of bumps. What they call, you're going to run your man off, he's going to run, and he's going to hit the defensive back. Your receivers, you'll send them to hit the defense back to rub them a little bit. That opens up the other wide receiver. If you do it too obvious, they're going to call a penalty on you. So as you're doing that, when you get the ball, if you're doing a 3-step drop back, if he's bumping, running, you're looking for them collisions. You're looking for collisions down the field. So if he's on him, he's bumping him, you have to wait to the rub maybe. You wait to the rub, and you can hit the guy that's doing the rub and coming off the rub, the crossing or the mesh, okay? Or you can run some type of fade. When you're running the fade out there, and you come back, point that shoulder up a little bit, point that feet, turn them hips, throw it. You want to throw it high and away for a fade route. You want to get it in between 22 yards. You want to get that ball to drop down on him right here, okay? Now, you'll run that type of fade or even a quick slant because you want to think, my personnel is better than that guy guarding him. So you would run that, okay? Now, you're going to have to expect a quick throw because most of the time when they're in the cover zero, the blitz is coming. The blitz is coming. So when you get it, if you're in a 3-step, large step back, cross here, you might have to take a plant and throw it over because a blitz is coming at you. That's why they're doing that. They're doing that in that cover zero because they're going to blitz you. They want the men to be covered so you won't have time to do nothing because they're going to rush you. And so when they come back and you got to look for the quick route. That means a tight end. You can hit the tight end. Probably trying to go down the seam. Like I said, any type of crossing route. Okay? And that's mainly how you can defeat a cover zero. Okay? Now the next coverage is a cover one. Cover one looks kind of like a cover three. It's almost the same. But they're playing zone. The safety is playing a zone. First thing you do, remember I told you, you come look for time, distance, and everything. Look and see if the field is open or closed. If it's closed, somebody's out there. Look in the depth and the leverage of the wide receivers. Look at the heads of the defensive backs. Look at the heads of the defensive back. If they sit here and they all turn looking toward you, they might be in some type of zone. If they're straight up on your person, on your receivers, looking straight up on him, they're probably a man-to-man. Now, cover one, they have one safety. Okay? And everybody else is playing man. So, same thing, how you beat that. Crossing patterns, quick slants, throwing to the running back coming out of the backfield, wheel routes. Throw a good wheel route, throw a slant, and then a wheel route behind it, throw a post. Now, you're probably going to get blitzed on that one too because you got to watch it because they'll blitz you from the far side of the field or the closest side of the field, closer to the hash mark. So as you taking your drop backs, whether if you're doing a 5 and you hit your 5th step, it's a timing pattern. You got to make sure you throw that ball on time. Okay? Now, here you go with cover 2. Cover 2 is basically a zone. A zone. They're usually going to have 2 safeties, 2 cornerbacks. 3 people underneath coverage, usually the linebacker. Okay? Now, out of that cover 2, they can come back with some type of sky or a cloud. That means they can roll up into a cover 1, roll into a cover 3, whatever, because one of the safeties will cheat all the way up and he'll take the slot person, and the other safety will move to the middle of the field. But on a basically cover 2, you got 2 safeties playing on the hash. If you're in the hash or in the middle of the field, space about 12 to 14 yards back. You have the twin right there, and he's over here. Then you have 2 cornerbacks, probably playing about from between 5 to 7 yards back. Both them cornerbacks' job, they have like the flats and a traditional cover 2. The cornerbacks has the flats, the 2 safeties has half of the field. The 2 safeties have that half, one have that half, and the other one have this half. Okay? And the way you're going to do that is when you're running some type of offense, whatever type of offensive scheme you're running, you're going to try to beat them not up the seams because they have somebody there waiting for you. What you're going to have to try to do is run type like the corner patterns. Now, if you're going to run a post, you can run a post on it, but you got to make sure you have other routes ran on the outside that open up your post. You know, now, on that, if you want to run a slant, you got to understand where that other outside linebacker or the flat defenders are, because they can have 2 outside linebackers playing there. But you can run a slant. Can you run a wheel route? Yes, you can run a wheel route off of that. But the best thing you want to do is get that ball, hit that corner route, or hit straight down the middle. Okay? That's when you notice a cover 2. 2 safeties, 2 cornerbacks. Cornerbacks, definitely leveraging them cornerbacks between 5 and 7 yards, and everybody's head is pointed in, looking at the quarterback. That tell you mainly that they're in the zone. Okay? And the good way to beat it is down the middle. Now, unless they plan a Tampa 2. It's another one, a Tampa 2. A Tampa 2, when they usually use a linebacker, somebody, he's going to turn and he's going to run to the middle of that field. So when you try to come down to the middle of the field, he's going to guard you. And that's what you call a Tampa 2. Okay, so the next one we'll go over is a cover 3. Cover 3, come out, open up the field, look at it. Field open, closed. You look at your down and distance and everything, and you see that the field now is closed. There's somebody in the middle of the field. You look at the two cornerbacks, the depth and leverage of the cornerbacks. They are playing like 7, 8 yards off. They're playing in the zone. Their head is looking at you on both sides. The right cornerback and the left cornerback. The linebackers, if they're playing to the outside linebackers, depends on whether you have trips to one formation or doubles on the other side. The outside linebackers are all looking at the quarterback because they're in the zone. And if the outside linebackers playing on your slot, if he's to the outside, you best believe he has the flats. If he's a little bit to the inside, you know, more to the inside, he still might be covered in flats. Okay? That safety is trying not to get beat deep. You really have 3 defensive backs. That's what it's called, cover 3. And they all got 1/3. He got a third, he got a third, he has a third. And they trying to play deep. They got underneath coverages, 4 people underneath. 2 middle linebackers, 2 outside linebackers, or 2 left safeties or right safeties. Depends on if you're playing something like a 4-2-5. They call their people safeties. And a 4-4-3, they can call them monsters and rovers. It's just a lot of names, mad and dog, you know. They can call all kinds of things, but they are basically can be hybrid type of bodies. They are physical enough to come up and play the run, and they're quick enough and fast enough to play on your slot receivers and your receivers. And so traditionally how to beat this cover 3 is 4 verticals. Send 4 people, 2 down the seams, 2 on the numbers out wide. Make those people make a decision. Run them 2 verticals straight at that safety. Make him jump 1. When he jump 1 through your shoulder, I'm gonna make him jump over here. Turn, plant that foot, get that ball up. I'm gonna get that ball and throw it to my other guy down to save. Or I'll run those wheel routes. Or a good one too is the slants. Corner routes. How you run it in, come in, break to the middle, turn to the corner. Corner routes. Drag sometimes. When you're dragging, coming across the middle. Waggles. Like I said, throwing out that back. Make that linebacker make a decision. As your linebacker, as he's trying to make a decision, push that ball to that running back. If that linebacker takes that running back, have that receiver doing some type of hook or curl off in there. So if the linebacker or the strong safety come up, he's going to clear the way for you to take that throw and hit that hook or that curl or even that out route. Now, the next one we get into is cover 4. Cover 4 is basically set up so to keep you from going deep. 4 defensive backs lined up probably about 10 yards or 12 yards back from the line of scrimmage. And that object is 2 objects. Keep you from going deep and be able to come up and play that run. That's why them safeties are not 15 yards back. They're around about 12 yards off the line. And their object is to come up and play that run and at the same time, play that pass. If it's pass, they dropping deep. And they're not gonna just run up. They kind of beat their feet a little bit. They just stuck and they watch. So they can see what's coming. You know? So kind of call that beating grass a little bit. Now the way you get them, good things is crossing routes. Excuse me. Crossing routes or mesh. Any type of good timing route. Because when you're running a mesh inside, you can be running a handoff. As you're doing this, reading and coming back, that's giving your personnel time to mesh, coming across the middle, right here. And the other one is coming across the middle this way. A lot of people sometimes cross the middle, they touch hands, or they'll hit elbows, they'll do anything, almost even give you a high five. It's just a, hey, I'm through. And then when you come through with that mesh, the quarterback, you can stand and you throw that mesh, okay? As they come across, they're usually gonna have some type of linebacker on them or whatever, underneath coverage. Like I say, now, it's not good to run 4 verts against 4 defensive backs that's already back there. So you run a lot of underneath things, throw the ball to the back coming out the backfield, okay? And it's not a hard defense to see because mainly, like I say, they can run it out of 3 fronts. They can run it with 5. They can run it out of a 4-2-5. They can run it out of a 3-4, a 4-3, or a 4-4. They can disguise it. And people will just drop back because, and remember this, the quarterback, once you get the ball, especially if you're playing under center, your first step is a read, long, wide. Getting you away from that line, cross, you're reading, you're watching them drop now. Because now, by your second step, they have to try to show what they're doing to you. Okay? So, that's why that camera's on them. 3, 4, 5. You always have to read what's going on. You can't go back like this. Because they can change on you. All you can do is throw interception. Okay, so we went over cover 0, cover 1, cover 2, cover 3, cover 4. This is Just Throw It Texas, Coach Dixon, and I'll see you next time. Thank you.